Our first stop on this trip is Three Rivers Campground in Sneads, Florida. As a lot of times when we travel, we had to pick up something for dinner. Popeye sounded good.
Well, here we are in Florida. We're at Three Rivers State Park. We're going to take a walk around it. We're headed down to Clearwater. See my youngest son. So we'll just take a look around, take a walk down to we think it's the Swanee River, but we don't know for sure yet.
We haven't been here before, but just found this as one of the campgrounds and it looked interesting. It's close to the water. Many trails back here. This is where the corner of Georgia, the Chattahoochee, and Flint rivers converge to form Lake Seminole. This campground is near Alabama, and it's between the Eastern and Central time zones, so we had trouble trying to figure out what time to be here. This is April, so in Florida it's a better temperature for me, not as hot, and also you don't have as many mosquitoes and other bugs.
But it's still a little warm. Here, let's go to the left and look at the campground a little bit, huh? This is a state park. Oh, we're going to go over and get this sign. We haven't seen these in a while.
It's late in the day, so I hope the color comes out pretty. Famous signs in Florida. Caution, alligators. This morning we have much better pictures of the lake. The water is really pretty this morning. Although you can see what the sign says. Alligator, no swimming. Here comes a boat. Here you can put in canoes or kayaks. I grew up in Florida, so I know it's fairly safe out in the open water, but don't get too close to the edge. I hear the birds in the trees this morning. Don't see any alligators yet. That may come later. We didn't get it in a bad spot. It's not right on the water, but you can see the water right there in the background. Pretty little park. Now traveling on to Central Florida. The Lazy Day Campground is pretty nice. It has a swimming pool area, pretty large pool, and is screened in. Lights at the campground sites. And it has a play area for the kids, and basketball and a tennis court. Today we're traveling over to Clearwater to meet our son Sean. We stopped on the causeway going into Clearwater to get some pictures. We haven't seen the water in so long. It looks so beautiful.
Okay, here we are going across one of the bays or the other. We're into Clearwater. There's my beautiful wife driving.
Alongside the road you can see palm trees. We haven't seen palm trees in a while. We grew up in Miami, so we had lots of palm trees there. We really miss them. See some sea grape trees along the road and the smell of salt water. We met up with our son Sean in Clearwater, and now he's taking us over to Clearwater Beach. We are getting into some traffic now, going over the causeway. The stroller is going faster than we are. We are driving down by Clearwater Beach. You can see the umbrellas, all of the umbrellas out there is covering the beach. People walking and bike riding, all having a good time. I had to stop and get a souvenir. Here are some buildings, mostly hotels and condos along the beach.
Yeah, we can head. We're going to head back now towards the mainland and find me an Arnold Palmer.
got back and decided to go to the Cheesecake Factory with our son Sean and our grandson Bryce, our granddaughter Caitlin, and their friends. The next day, we decided to visit Tarpon Springs. Tarpon Springs is a city in Pinellas County, Florida. The population is 23,484, and they have the highest percentage of Greek Americans of any city in the U.S. In the little shops at the sponge docks, you can find, of course, sponges to buy, or Greek oil, Greek chocolate, Greek food, and Greek jewelry. I also had to pick up some homemade soaps with olive oil, goat's milk, and coconut. They smell so good. It's a fun place to go for the afternoon. There are lots of Greek restaurants in Tarpon Springs, but we decided on Mama's Greek Cuisine. This is where I got my olive oil and chocolate. It was a good find. And I love the live music while I shop. Here is a statue giving tribute to the Greek sponge divers. And one last picture before we leave Tarpon Springs. We headed north about 2 hours to McAlpin, Florida, and that was to visit my niece Tavia and her husband Richie. We were only able to stay for a day, but we had a great time while we were there.
Well, we are at the Fly Ponderosa. This belongs to Brenda's niece Tavia and her husband Richie. And they have worked and worked and worked. And they just an absolutely beautiful area out here. They have their home. His mom has a home. They're building a guest home. They have a pool, outdoor kitchen. Some dashboard with some window. You can see this is just in a pretty area of Florida. They have a barn that they've built into an event center. And of course he's got his big RV over there. And their grandson's treehouse we'll see coming up. Beautiful place with a lot of hard work.
Unfortunately, we only had one day with Tavia and Richie. Now we're on our way to Lake City, about 20 miles away, to visit our cousins, Guy and Darlene. Then we're heading north.
Let's see, to the right of us here is backside of Fort Benning. I began my military career basic training at Benning, and I ended my military career at the 197th Infantry Brigade. 196th? Now I'm confused. I think it was the 196th Infantry Brigade. That was here at Fort Benning. Well, many years ago. October of 1970 I got out. Well, this is the back part of it. We're kind of heading to Columbus for our trip home, and we're going to stay either at a Cracker Barrel and Boondock, or we may find a campground close by if there's one that we like. And again, I always like to get my lovely wife on the camera when she's driving. And believe it or not, she does not drive all the time. This is kind of the back side. You can see some of the weapons out there. And I looked it up, it was the 197th Infantry Brigade. It was my last duty unit. This is the 8th Division access point. Still about 18 miles from Columbus, so this is a huge base. I looked it up, and it doesn't look like they allow civilians on post unless they've gotten clearance and reasons, but just to visit. And the museum is shut down. It's a shame, as not only as a veteran, but it would be really nice for me to explore where I was stationed for basic, and then where I was as I exited the military.
Good morning. Staying at the Cracker Barrel here this morning. It's already getting filled. Gotta be going.
We're heading out. I think we're looking to go back to Tombigbee State Park in Tupelo. This is in Columbus, Georgia. We had dinner here at the Cracker Barrel last night. Here's the Chattahoochee River, coming again out of Columbus, Georgia. But we're no longer in Columbus, Georgia. Now we are in Sweet Home, Alabama. Crossed over from Georgia to Alabama.
We are driving through the pretty town of Tupelo, Mississippi. We are almost at Tombigbee State Park. But first, here in Tupelo, we're going to look for Bishop's Barbecue. That's what we had the last time we were here, and it was so good. We're trying to find it again. We're passing some churches and cute little cafe. Elvis posters and guitars are everywhere. As we turn the corner, you can see a picture of Elvis and the window to the right.
wide bike lane. That's nice. Park with Elvis Presley over there. I don't know. This is the Bancor South Arena. I don't know what they do there, but it looks like they're having
We are now at Tupelo State Park. We're going to have our barbecue tonight and then head out in the morning. Tombigbee State Park. There's the playground for kids over there. The RV. Camping area, the table area. We got barbecue from Bishop's Barbecue. Looks good. We're gonna eat. This morning we're on our way to Missouri. We are passing by Memphis and going into Arkansas. Paul is driving and now back in our home state of Missouri.